Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Manscaped. With April being National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, our friends at Manscaped partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn more and help detect the early signs of cancer. Let's grade the Cowboys reports this offseason. A, B, C, D, or F. How do you feel about what the Cowboys report has done? What I think we have done in terms of our coverage. Was it great? Was it terrible? Try not to hold the Cowboys' individual moves against us, but you can be honest. We'll take the feedback. A, B, C, D, or F in the comments section. Let's talk some trade rumors on today's show. Fans cited proposing a trade of Najee Harris so the Cowboys don't sign Ezekiel Elliott. Now, I do want to be clear. There's been a lot of, how to try this, bad game of telephoning involved here. Dan Sileo had said that the Cowboys are calling the Steelers about Najee Harris. Someone had said it was a Bleach article. No, it was fan-sided. This is the original, I'll put air quotes here for reporting, or maybe source is a better one for it. It's just your trade ideas. And those are fine. Those are fun. They're entertaining. I like talking about them because it gives you ideas for what's going on out there. But there is no Cowboys trying to work a Najee Harris trade. That has not actually been the case. It's just the idea. So this was the idea from fan-sided. The Cowboys get Najee Harris and a 6th-round pick next year. Pittsburgh gets a 4th-round pick next year and a 7th-round pick, number 233 overall. Now, depending on where exactly those picks end up falling, this is roughly early 5th-round value for next year. Next year emphasis on that front. Kind of that beginning of the 5th, back end of the 4th round. So, relative to some of the other trades we've seen, and ones we might get to today, I would say this is far from the worst trade idea for Dallas. Running back is an obvious area of concern. Right now, it's Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, Hunter LePew is kind of a fullback there, and Snoop Conner. Now, I'll emphasize far from, because on one hand, it's a 1,000-yard runner. Every single year of his career, he's run for 1,000 yards. But he's a sub-4-yard per carry back. Now, I think part of that was I didn't like the Steelers' ground game, their philosophy and their scheme overall. He has not been an explosive big play threat. He kind of gets you right at 4 yards per carry, which is, we were mad about that usage, about that production last year from players, but I think it's kind of the new angle from that perspective. I think there's untapped potential left for Najee Harris. The 4th angle, the 4th-round pick, gives me a little bit of pause there. Is he really still worth all that, though? I'm not so sure. And if you're Pittsburgh, are you going to give him up easily? Because they've got Jaylen Warren and Cordell Patterson who are fun players. Patterson probably help on returns mostly. But those aren't like lead backs, So I wonder if it's one of those trades in which both teams say, we're fine. Harris, the Cowboys say, we'll just draft somebody. Steelers go, we don't want to have to draft somebody with an early round pick when we have Najee Harris under contract already. By the way, yes, that is Aaron Shamklin, the Cowboys legend, also on the Steelers roster these days. So will the Cowboys make a trade during this offseason? Y for yes, N for no. It is today's pinned comment. Take advantage of it if an ad plays. Go vote down there. All right, you thought I was mean about Najee Harris. Here we go. Tee Higgins trade idea. Who says no? NFL Analysis Network claiming, emphasis on claim here, a former NFL exec told them Dallas will try to trade for Tee Higgins. Here was the quote and claim from a former NFL exec. There are a lot of teams with known interest in Higgins. However, I do believe that Jerry Jones would be involved if the Bengals truly make him available. The Cowboys are going to make a splash if it presents itself, and Higgins would be that kind of splash. Here we go again, folks. No, this is wrong. This is not true. This is the yearly Jerry Jones wants to make a splash claim when this team doesn't actually make splashes. Either the exec is misinformed or there is no exec, and he's lying, because that's not how execs actually talk. They don't send you nice little bite-sized clips and quotes with all great punctuation and stuff like that. This report is BS all the way through, and it doesn't even remotely pass the smell test. This looks like you forgot to clean out your grill, and it was hot in the summer, and you actually left some actual food in there, and it is rancid now. It does not pass the smell test whatsoever. Two big reasons here beyond the logical, that's not true. Number one, the asking price. The Bengals are not going to give away Tee Higgins for free. That is the team that wants to win games right now. They think Higgins helps them do that. It would be roughly at minimum the A.J. Brown trade, a first and a third. The Cowboys have 2 picks in the top 170. They're not trading 2 of them for a number 2 wide receiver and then paying said wide receiver $25 million per year. Like, that's not a path this team is going to pursue. That's not something they want to do, and it is not something they will frankly even consider doing. Not happening. So that is an absolute outright lie, deception, wrongness, whatever you want to call it. Simply not going to happen. Did you know that one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? In fact, it is the most common form of cancer amongst men aged 15 to 35, like myself and producer Chris are. With April being National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, our friends over at Manscaped have partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn how to check yourself for early signs of cancer. And you can always use promo code Cowboys over at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is the best in men's grooming technology, and you can do simple routine self-checks while using that as well. In addition to giving you the right tools and solutions for comfortable and easy grooming, Manscaped is committed to raising awareness and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer. That's why they're donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society. So once again, go to manscaped.com/TCS and share their funny educational check yourself video. And while you're at it, grab that 20% off and free shipping with code Cowboys. It is a day that ends in Y, and we have yet another Trey Lance trade rumor or idea out there. Isn't it funny how that constantly happens? Bleacher Report is the latest when discussing some ideal Packers trades. They say the Packers should go trade for Trey Lance to be the backup behind Jordan Love, because the Cowboys are going to have to pay Dak Prescott big money, and they might not be able to afford to, but Green Bay can when paying Jordan Love big money. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Here's the trade idea. It's a 4th-round pick, 2 spots later than what Dallas gave up to get Trey Lance, by the way, which does seem fairly relevant here in the end. The issues here are kind of twofold. Number one, this defeats the purpose of the Trey Lance trade in the first place. Because you know what you're probably going to try to do with that 4th-round pick? You're going to try and draft a QB. You traded for Lance to be your young developmental guy, since he's the same age or younger than some of the other prospects in this year's class. Look, you get the 4th-round pick back. And if you were saying, screw the future, we're not going to have one in there, like, let's go get that. Okay, sure. That doesn't appear to be that the Cowboys plan. I think they want to have that developmental quarterback out there. Now, everybody has their price. What draft pick would you want back for Trey Lance? Go ahead and sound off for me in the comments. The minimum draft pick, round 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 5 even, that you would want back in a Trey Lance trade. Now, I would say it is highly doubtful you get a 4th-round pick back. And the reason being, the trade returns for these other guys with 1 year left on their contract were not very good. The reason why Kenny Pickett's trade value was higher, despite not being a very good quarterback, why Trey Lance went for a 4th last time, and then guys like Mac Jones and Justin Fields even went for 6th-ish round picks, was because of the team control left. In this scenario, the Packers are going to have a fourth-round pick for Trey Lance and getting to see him for a couple months and not playing him in games that matter. The benefit the Cowboys already got was having him under contract and developing him the way they want to develop him. That kind of goes away when he's got 1 year left on his contract. So I don't think you're getting a fourth-round pick. That's not a good thing from that perspective. So I just have a tough time seeing that one going down. If I could get a great pick, great, sure, let's have some fun there. But I would have some doubts from that perspective. I think this team's plan is to let Trey Lance be the number 2 quarterback. He's number 3 for now. I think they want him to earn that number 2 quarterbacks or QB spot and see just how good he can be moving forward. Now, when the Cowboys make a trade this offseason, we will have a video for you, or if it's mid-draft, we'll be live on the channel, so you'll see it immediately in real time. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Oh, here's a Cowboys legend for you. There's been speculation, I think hope for some, which I don't know about if I agree with that one, of a Noah Brown reunion after the Stephon Diggs trade. Fans cited, Bleacher Report have written about it. Matt Miller said that the Texans could trade him. Thoughts here. The Texans now have a surplus of wide receivers who could make your roster. Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, who I think might be the actual receiver one in Houston. Tank Dell, Robert Woods, John Mechie, Noah Brown. Steven Sims can carve out a special teams role. Hutchinson as well. The trade idea from fans side was this: a 7th-round pick. Now, of note, which 7th-round pick it was not specified. Neither was the year. They mentioned a post-June 1st trade of Noah Brown, which doesn't really do anything because he's got 1 year on his contract. So that part didn't make any sense. Kind of felt like somebody had heard post-June 1st before and went, this is fine, and not really had great info there. Brown put up in fewer games, by the way, pretty comparable numbers. Kind of like how Dalton Schultz put almost the exact same numbers in Houston as he did in Dallas in his best year. Noah Brown did the same. Had a couple big games. Had his dropsies as well. But wide receiver is a need for this team. But it's not a need of like we have to find a 4th receiver or a 5th receiver. I have guys who can do this. I have players who can fill that role. I need a dude. Noah Brown is not a dude. He is not a star. All right? He signed a 1-year deal up to $4 million. And the majority of that money would be owed by the Dallas Cowboys if they were to trade for Noah Brown. Here are the savings involved and the money involved, right? Texans save barely anything if they cut him. It's basically just saving the up to $1 million roster bonus. He doesn't get all that because he missed time on the cap in terms of projections, so keep that in mind. They'd save $2.59 on the cap if traded for. The max cap hit would be $3 million the Cowboys would owe him. That's affordable, but do I need to pay my receiver $3 million? I don't think so. Noah Brown falls into the Cowboys legend category. So do me a favor, name a Cowboys legend in the comment section right now.